everyone, it's Brooke at Mrs. Cog Hill Farm, and I must say, see my cows behind me? 3 of my cows. Well, they had ran out of hay, and I was gonna let them eat the green grass that came up, and it just seemed like they were hanging out by that hay ring a lot, and I just didn't feel like the grass was quite tall enough yet for them to have to just eat that. So I picked up another bale of hay. Luckily, I found somebody locally that had a few bales left, and Tater said she has to agree that a pregnant lady this late term needs some extra stuff. We took her grain away per vet orders, and I just couldn't stand the thought of knowing that she had to depend on grass that's greening up, but it's just not very tall yet. So supplemental hay bale it is. These guys over here, the goats and Matilda, they're doing very good with their hay. They're obeying the orders as making it last, you know, and not being gluttons, so to speak. They are making kind of an odd shape out of it. I'm kind of wondering if that's how the last hay bale fell out of this cradle here. You can see they ate this side off, and I don't know how they did that. They obviously climbed up on top of it. Matilda, you didn't have anything to do with that, did you, girl? My sweet, sweet pet cow, Matilda, who is, I just think she's just precious. I mean, to me, she's like what a cow should look like. The black and white, the pink nose with the little, show them your nose, baby, the little freckles on it. No, not your chin, your nose. That's right there, that's your nose. I think she's just precious, and I kind of think she feels the same way about me. She knows I'm the hand that feeds her, and she's just happy. She's just a happy girl. And I'm happy to say that we have landed a sponsorship with Luberson, which we didn't reach out to them, you guys did. Our vet, Dr. D, recommended Luberson, and I'd never heard of it. So I purchased a gallon for Matilda, and instantly, within probably 3 days, I could see dramatic improvement. And you guys reached out to them and asked that they be Matilda's sponsor, and they contacted us almost immediately and asked that they could send us some products for Matilda. And that's when they informed me that they make a human variety too, which I had no idea. Since then, I've learned that they make a variety that's good for cats, good for dogs, good for horses, good for livestock, goats, and humans. So guess what, Matilda? I think that me and you are gonna be representatives for that company, because you have this bum knee right here, this bum leg that has been dramatically improved with the Luberson. And then I have this body that could use an adjustment. So hopefully once I start taking it, it'll do me the same as it does you. Well, I'm not gonna go on and on about it. I wanted to tell you guys that if that is something that you're interested in taking, they have been generous enough to apply a link for you guys where you can save 25% off any purchase by using the link that Jason puts in here, or by using the code COGHILL, all one word. And you don't even have to use the link if you do it that way. Just go to their website, luberson.com. But you wanted to tell everybody thank you for reaching out and getting you that sponsorship, because we never, ever, ever have to worry about you going without your medicine. It's all natural, and you can use it for the rest of your life. So that tells me you can grow into a big girl, even as big as Moody, and you should be able to get around just fine, because that joint lubricant is basically what it is. It's doing you very well. All right, so now on to some news that's not exactly what I ever expected to happen in a million years. So Paris had her babies, a boy and a girl, this past Monday. Today's Saturday. The video's out on Sunday. Today's Saturday. And we had the little girls that are getting the babies come to visit for the first time today. So I had already been out and fed and taken care of everything this morning. And I noticed when I went in to check on Paris and the babies that the babies weren't latching on to Paris's teat. They looked at, they were getting right up to it, and they kind of acted like, this is what I'm going to describe it as. They acted like it smelled bad. That's the way I would describe it. And so I thought, well, maybe her teat was kind of engorged at the time, and I could see her udder was full. So I thought, well, maybe I just need to help them out a little bit, and I put them up under there, and they didn't drink, but they were still hopping around. And so I came back home and did my thing until it was time for the little girls to arrive, Emma and Ella and their family. And they did. They came into the barn, and I let them come into the stall, and the little girl was kind of doing the same thing again and acting like Paris's udder had a foul smell. And so at that time, I took her teat and I squeezed it a little bit to allow some milk to come out, thinking that she would indeed know where to get her milk from. Now, mind you, these babies are now, Monday evening is when they were born, so today's Saturday. So they're, you know, a good 5 days old. And if they weren't drinking out of their mama, they would not be here today. And plus, I had milked Paris down a little bit that second day because I didn't like the way her udder was looking. And I'd fed it to them by bottle to make sure that they were being fed properly. So while the little girls were here, I said, I'm going to squeeze this teat and just let the babies know that the milk's here, as if they didn't know where the milk was. But anyway, that was my thinking, is if I squeeze a little bit and rub it on the end of her teat, then they're going to start nursing. So I did that, and when I squeezed, I did not like what I saw at all. It was not the color of milk. It was, I could tell that it had some blood in it, and I said, oh my gracious, no wonder this morning they were acting like they were. No wonder. So it just so happens that this was this little girl's first visit to our farm. First time to see the little babies that they'll be taking home with them. We had decided that we would leave the babies with Paris to have mama's milk. And then when it was time to go home, they could indeed be weaned at that time, or they could choose to bottle feed them for a little bit just to have the experience. It wouldn't be like they would be eating grain here and then go there and be back on milk. They would still be drinking Paris's milk, and then when they go to their farm, they would have some supplemental bottle feeding as well as introduced grain. So that was the plan, and we had decided on probably 6, 7, 8 weeks, something like that. We just play it by ear and see how the babies were developing and how Paris was doing. And well, today was a shot out of left field, so to speak. When that happened, my heart sank because something told me this morning when I came out early. I was right after sunrise. I was out here. Something told me that they don't like her teat for some reason, and that's not been the case. I've seen them nurse. I've seen them nurse. Everything's been fine. Paris has been fine. Paris has been eating. Paris has been drinking. Paris's food was there this morning. She didn't eat from last night. And I said, oh my goodness. So I said, excuse me, y'all, but I've got to call the doctor. Got to call the vet. So I did just that. I called Dr. D. So Dr. D said we need to start an antibiotic. Exceed is something that he recommended. And he said, I need you to have some Banamine, which I already do have some on hand, but I needed to have more than what I actually had for later use. And I need a steroid. And so I immediately told the little girls, I said, look, I said, y'all are welcome to stay here as long as you want to. Of course, they were with their parents and Jason was here. I said, but I have got to run to Dr. D and get these medications to get them in pairs as soon as possible. And so I did that, and I felt so bad because I left them first time at the farm. But you guys know that an animal's life is utmost important to us as it is to them, and that's one reason we chose to rehome the babies with this family, because they are fantastic people. They're just, they're very, very good with their animals, and they're also very good with their children, the parents. And I know that this is, I wouldn't have bred Paris had it not been for this family. I would never have done it. Because I had told you guys that I didn't think I was going to breed anybody this year. So I left and I had to go over to Millbrook, where he works at a clinic half a day on Saturday, and pick up the medication. And I did, and I got back home, had to have my good friend Catherine come over from G&G Farm. I had never given an injection intramuscular. I've always done sub-Q, but this steroid required me to do it intramuscular. And I could have done it had I not had anybody to show me. I could have watched a YouTube video, but she was kind enough to say, hey, I'll just run over there and we'll do it together. I'll let you do it, but I'll show you exactly what to do. And she came on over and we got Paris fixed up. I do have some, thank you, Sylvester. I do have some mastitis medication that I will inject into her udder if needed at the end of the antibiotic course. Antibiotics are not to be re-administered for 4 days. So she's gonna be fine on those for 4 days. I will continue the steroids for 3 days continuously, and the Banamine will be used after we stop the steroid if needed, just for pain. He wanted me to have that on hand for any animal because it's something that can be used in a lot of different situations. Sylvester, you are a mess. Yes, you are. You are a mess. So then my conversation shifted with Dr. D about, what do I do about the babies? You know, they're obviously going to try to nurse off of their mama, and obviously she has an infection and they do not need that infection going inside them. The milk's of no good. So we made the ultimate decision upon the vet's recommendation to separate the babies from Paris while she recovers. She may not be able to nurse them at all. It's going to be kind of a day trial and error thing, day by day. We'll see what happens. But I have already moved them. I've separated them from Paris. And, you know, I hate to say this, but it's almost like Paris is relieved. And I'm sure she is, because y'all, what came out of her was not anything I'm going to show. It was not anything that you would want to see. When I got back here with the medication, Dr. D also advised me to milk Paris completely out, which I thought, how's this going to work? Because she is, if I have a least tame goat, it's Paris. She's never been on the milk stand before except for to have her hooves trimmed. How's this going to work? Y'all, Catherine and I got her in the milk stand. That's where we gave her her injection too. And she stood there and allowed me to milk her completely out on both sides. It was gross, it was nasty, and I could just tell she was relieved. She was relieved. She needed that to to come out of her in order for her to feel better. And she did not try to kick the bucket over. She just stood there, and I was able to milk her completely out, which I will continue to do while she has the tinge color. It's not even tinged, it's just about all red. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad. And I don't know how it could get so bad so fast. Last night they were fine. Last night Paris was fine. Last night the babies were nursing. Last night the milk was milk colored, and today the milk is not. So I have emphasized time and time again, goats are the hardest animal we have ever owned. And I tell you, just about everybody I know that has goats has had some difficulties, and it's not easy. It'll break your heart. And I so hope that Paris can recover from this and have the strength, because it's on me for being the human that bred her, so these little girls can have joy in their life. But I'm doing everything humanly possible to get her back to health and to just recover. That's all I ask is her to recover. So I have to go and heat up a bottle again. I do have some goat milk that I have frozen, and I am thankful for that. I have some frozen goat milk. Of course, goat milk is best when you have babies. You can use the powder supplement, which we will have to do if we continue this, because I will run out of the milk that I got from Capri that I have frozen. We will run out, and it will need to be supplemented. But I'm thankful that I froze that milk, and I'm gonna go heat it up, and y'all are gonna see some spunky little babies. Well, I couldn't leave and go heat up the bottle without showing y'all Matilda's blanket. She has made herself, girl, it's not cold. It's really, really warm. How did you do that? And why did you do that? You look awfully cute. Yeah, you look really cute. I mean, that's like the best thing you could have done. You made all that hay fall on top of you so you can just eat it. Here I am talking about sad things, and you're gonna make us all smile. So I'm thankful for that. Keep on chewing, girl. I gotta go get a bottle. I know, you had a bottle too. If you see that bottle, you're liable to knock me down, because every cow we have, y'all, was at one time a bottle baby. That's hard to believe. And no, they weren't all bottle fed by me. Tater was a bottle baby. Zoe was informed by the previous owners that Tater was bottle fed. I bottle fed Mildred, and I know that girl over there who's under the covers waiting for wintertime to return. I know she was bottle fed. So how about that? 4 bottle fed cows. Well, I went home and heated up some of our goat milk that we had frozen, and I wanted to just show you guys Paris before I go over and feed the babies. I'm not gonna go in with her, but I have her some alfalfa hay, and her feed is right beside the hay. She did not eat any of it last night, and that was one of the reasons that I was concerned when she did not, well, the babies acted like they couldn't nurse. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now. So I normally record in the morning, and I had every intention of recording this morning, but with what happened to her, she's first priority. So my recording got put behind, and this has all happened, you know, in the course of today. Her temperature is 103.7 right now, which is slightly elevated. It should be under 103. It's best that she is on this side of the barn, and the babies are actually on the other side of the barn in another stall. I do need to go pick up some new shavings so it can all be just their stuff. I have, where are they? Oh goodness. Oh goodness. They are cuddled up with each other right here in the corner. And I don't even know if I'm gonna wake them up, but I need to see if they'll eat. Okay, so Brambles, I really don't need you helping, baby. So this is the little girl. This is Bramble. And Bramble, I need to bottle feed the baby, so I really need you to go away. The little boy, he took about 3 ounces, which is a lot. Y'all are just gonna have to bear with me. I don't want to be a bearer of bad news for Bramble, but he can't bottle feed. He's just here for the show. All right, so are you licking her? Yeah. So he took 3 ounces, and I was very, very pleased with that. She has TT'd, which is a good indicator that she has obviously had some liquid, but we're gonna try right now, get pat, baby, to get her to take a little. All right, so little brother's over there crying because he doesn't know where sister went. I see you, baby. Bottle feeding can be a hard thing. Oh, yeah. Marty McFly. You're going to have to show sister how to do it. Oh, goodness. That was a lot, wasn't it? Yeah. Want a little more? That's a good boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff, isn't it? Want a little more? Just got to be patient with them when they're learning. Got to kind of help them get the nipple in their mouth. It's okay. It's okay. Boy, yes, that's a good baby. Are you falling asleep? You chewing on it now. That's good stuff, isn't it? Now we gotta get sister over here. Yeah. Bramble thinks he needs some. Oh, goodness. You done? You done, little fella? It won't be long before they will get the hang of this. And we certainly didn't plan for this. We didn't expect it, but it's part of it. So y'all, this was not an easy video to make. And I'm gonna keep trying with Marion to bottle feed her. And Bramble said I could try him too. He won't mind if I give him a little. You know, Sylvester's the one that likes the milk so much, not you. You just like people. He doesn't care about the milk. But y'all, I mean, you can, there's no sounds coming from in here. The babies are content. Paris is content. I think that they know that, I think the babies know that their mama's not well. And I think Paris needs to be away from them to recover. So I'm thankful there's not a lot of vocalization happening, meaning goats hollering, because that would make things even more complicated. So I ask that each and every one of you give, if you're one that says a prayer, say a prayer for Paris. I just want what's best for her, and we're going to go to every step necessary to make sure that happens. Right, Bramble? So y'all just know that this is not anything we expected, but you got to be prepared for the expected and the unexpected. And I just want things to go in Paris's favor, and I know y'all do too. So until next time, y'all be good.